So this is an old video that you're going to watch. I started filming in November 2023 and it took me a year to post. So these are all archived clips. You know, some of my thoughts might have changed, some might stay the same, but I'd like to post them because it's part of the journey and it's important to me, and they matter to me, and it shows the journey and shows different thoughts I was going through compared to now, I guess. But yeah, enjoy the video. Peace. Well then, what a rough run that was. Come on, move over. What a rough run that was. Just ran 10k, 7 miles per hour. Fast, that's a fast run for me. What did I just do it in? I think I just did 10k in 55 minutes. The reason I don't know the exact time is because I walked for a bit at the start and, you know, little warm up, so I'm assuming it was around 5 minutes maybe. Yeah, but the last video I spoke about how for me to get more of an achieving feeling, to make it feel like I'm achieving something, I need to set a goal. I need to put pressure on it for it to feel more like what I'm doing is an achievement. So I set out today, rather than doing a nice light easy run, to do, whoa, speed cameras, humans holding up speed cameras, naughty. Yeah, so I set out today, instead of doing a light run, I said I'll do a fast run. I'll do it for as long as my girlfriend runs. Now I was 30 minutes earlier to the gym than my girlfriend. That's why it ended up being a 10k. So I ran for an hour, she ran for 30 minutes, and I was 30 minutes earlier. And if I'm honest, half an hour in, probably the last 30 minutes, I was absolutely dying. I was sat there pulling everything out the bank just to keep on going, because I've been listening to David Goggins' book, Can't Hurt Me, the first book, and he talks about, like I said in the last video, he talks about this cookie jar of achievements that he essentially pulls from when times get tough. And I don't feel like I have any achievements to pull out that cookie jar. Or when I get to a point where I'm struggling, what happens to me is my mind turns into every time I've ever give up, it brings that to the surface and then tells me, this is why you're gonna give up now. That's what normally goes on in my head. And I don't look at the achievements, and I don't see achievements. And that's why I think a lot of the time I don't see achievements, or things like I ran a half marathon, like I've said in the previous video, and it didn't feel like necessarily like an achievement because I didn't set out to do that. I set out to run 10k. So this time I set this 10k fast run as an achievement, and it felt great. It feels like an achievement, and it's the first one in the cookie jar where I can sit there and say, look, you did this last time, this is why you can do it this time. And for me, I find it weird to talk to myself in a positive way. Not saying I'm low confidence, or I don't think a lot of myself. It's just the way I talk to myself. I always want more and I always want better. And that's why I don't see things as necessarily achievements if I just casually do them. Because, you know, there's no risk and reward in that, like I've said in the past. So yeah, last half an hour, last 10 minutes were just a killer. On the mind, mentally a killer. Well, physically a killer, but I was more focused on mentally it being a killer, because I'd set it out as an achievement, and because I'd filmed the video before the gym, and I said, this is what I'm going to do. I have to achieve these things. It puts more pressure on the act that I'm doing, because there's a possibility that I fail. But we didn't fail this time. We did very well. And it's funny, the things that go on in your mind when failure is an option. For me, when failure is the possibility, and I hate failure, I hate failing. It kills me inside to fail. And I do it all the time, don't get me wrong. And it hurts me every time. And that's why I want to be great, because it hurts me so much when I fail. But yeah, especially those last 15 minutes, I'm pulling out everything. I'm pulling out childhood memories. I'm pulling out things I've seen in ayahuasca. I'm pulling out just silly achievements. I'm pulling out that I'm just living day to day, that I'm still here and I keep going. I'm pulling out whatever I can. I even pulled out that I was God, and I'm sat there with the devil, and I'm talking to the devil, saying, "You ain't gonna get me this time. I'm a God. I made the devil." Do you know what I mean? That's where my mind's going. It's crazy where that mind leads you, and the experience you have when you carry on through that suffering. Don't get me wrong, it didn't go. I didn't pass through it. That hour came and I got to stop before the high came during the run. And the feeling you get when you're suffering, I mean, I was suffering for 30 minutes. I'm pretty sure 30 minutes, 100% 20 minutes. And to get through, to just push through that suffering, it does not change any time for me. The feeling of suffering stays the same every single time. That's something I've noticed. It's either that, or I don't increase the level of suffering, or I don't get far enough into it. It's one of the two. But it doesn't change no matter what it is. Whether it was whether it was with ayahuasca and I'm asking someone simply for help in the room and it was extremely difficult, that was the same feeling as what I'd just gone through there. And it really felt like living life, because hold on, an ambulance is coming through. It really felt like I was living life, because what is this geezer doing? Sorry, distracted. Really felt like I was living life, and that this was the moment. This is what life's for, to get through this suffering. And there was an extremely strong feeling with that I was putting on it. That was the emphasis I was having on it, that this is life. This is after this point, once you've got this is the success. This is the feeling you're craving in life. This is the accomplishment that you're missing out on, because you set it at that. And one of the things is, you set what the achievement is, but you also know if you're lowballing that achievement. If I sat there and I set the achievement at a fast pace for 20 minutes, I know I can do that. I know I can do that easy. If I go sit in the sauna and I set it for 15 minutes, don't get me wrong, when I hit 10 to 15 minutes, then last 5 minutes, that's absolutely, that's where it gets hard. But I understand that I understand that I can do 15 minutes. I know I've not done 30 minutes before. And I know 25 minutes is doable, but it's hard. But if I set my achievement at 15 minutes, I know I'm lowballing. And I know it's not necessarily an achievement. So I know I can't even just trick my brain into feeling like I've achieved something. I actually have to do something that's hard. And that 10k was hard. At a fast pace, I can do a 10k at a slow pace, easy. And the reason, one of the signs that I know it was hard was at the end, I almost felt like I got an injury, shin splints. I've got this extreme sharp pain behind my shin. Just come out of absolutely nowhere. Did not feel it when I ran. And that to me is a sign that I am running hard, because the pain is also almost being numbed. Pardon me. But yeah, I'm going to try and do it more. I'm going to try and, because I do fear setting a goal. Purely off the fear of not reaching it, you know? And you know, after reading this David Goggins book again, I have realised, you know, you can't, to step out of your comfort zone, you have to set goals that are beyond you, that are hard to get. I can't set goals that are easy to get, or else I don't feel it as a goal. And that's why I can't just casually do it. And when it becomes hard once I set it as a goal, because there's pressure on it, and the more the pressure is, the pressure increases the more I fail. Because the more you fail, the more the next one becomes harder, because it's not the task that you're doing, it's the task of succeeding. It's the task of sticking to your word, and that's a pretty valuable thing, to stick to your word. And I'll be honest, I've not been doing that up until this point. This is the first one in the cookie jar. But yeah, living life, loving it. Peace.